Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Anime Roundup. My name is Trey.
And I'm Patrick.
And we are here to talk about anime.
The most beautiful thing in the world besides Gundam. Oh, wait.
Oh! So, Patrick, what have you been watching?
Oh, man. Same old, but I caught up on some
Yeah.
stuff. Starting with Konohana Kitan, I finally caught up, and I'm still loving the show, man. Every week, there's another part of the story, and pieces are just kind of like falling together. And without spoiling anything, two really great characters have finally had like the sentimental moment that they really needed to have for their relationship. Okay. And man, it was so heartwarming because it's one of those things where, you want to you want it to happen, and it just finally happens the way you want it to.
Yeah.
And it was just really satisfying, to be able to get that experience. And then, of course, Kino's journey, which every week hits another just like amazing part. Like you find something every week that hits you differently.
I got you. Kino's journey has always been a great show.
Yeah, they really hit like real world stuff that really makes you just kind of think. And then I started watching some more Iron-Blooded Orphans.
That's a great show.
Yep, and I realized how both rewarding and unrewarding that Gundam can be.
So
sometimes.
I feel like we should mention that you and I tried to record this last week, and the recording didn't take. We have my audio, but lost yours, and so we lost a really good conversation about character death in anime, and why it's important, and what it means in Gundam specifically. But at some point, that conversation will come back. I really want to have that conversation after both you and Andrew have finished the series.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because, like, it seems like every time I fall in love with another character that's not a main character, I lose them.
I would argue that the character who died that you just saw die is a main character.
Yeah, I would argue that too. And to be honest with you, I would argue that all of the characters that I've loved and who have died could be technically main characters.
Yeah.
They're just not,
the main two characters.
Exactly. And so it's just been really rough, man, because I sit here and I get so attached and I'm like, wait a minute, this character is so cool. How have I not realized that they've been here this whole time? And then I'm like, their story is so interesting. And I'm like, wait a minute. They did this with the last character that I fell in love with. And the last character I fell in love with. I was like, oh God. That beast is going to die. And sure enough, like 3 episodes later, I see what he does in this battle. And I'm just like, oh, no, don't do this. Don't do it. And then they kill him. And I'm just like, tearing up about it.
Yeah.
Like you said, we'll have this conversation in a lot more stronger scale once we all get to talk about it. But character death is just...
It hurts.
It hurts so bad.
I feel like we should mention, too, that this one will be a little bit of a shorter anime roundup because, unfortunately, we have already had these conversations.
Yeah.
And we waited a couple days so that it wouldn't be quite as fresh. But you and I both know my memory, which is that I'm now fighting to try and decide whether or not just to repeat myself verbatim for half the things I said. But I will say something we didn't talk about last time was at least Iron-Blooded Orphans doesn't have the problem that some of the other Gundam series have, where in some of the Gundam series, there's an episode... I say it absolutely has that problem for Season 1. Spoilers for Season 1 of Iron-Blooded Orphans. But, which you are past, thankfully. Yes. There's an episode called Fumitan Admos, and guess what happens in the episode called Fumitan Admos?
People die.
Fumitan Admos dies! It happens in Gundam Age 2. There's an episode called Gerard Spriggan. What do you think happens in the episode called Gerard Spriggan?
Gerard has a really good life.
Gerard Spriggan is introduced for that episode, has never been seen before that episode, and you can guess what happens in that episode.
slaughter.
I don't feel like it's as much a spoiler because that character literally wasn't in the show before that episode.
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
You don't get to call your episode the name of a character that you've never met and expect that not to be the biggest red flag in the universe.
Exactly.
But hey, Armblood Orphans says to raise your flag, so everybody's raising their death flags.
And other flags.
Yeah, and other flags. The shipping flags are there too. Oh boy, are they ever. The internet loves Armblood Orphans for shipping.
Yeah, the whole time, especially towards the end of the first season, I was just like, oh, I could ship those two. I could ship those two for sure. And I'm not going to say anything because someone who hasn't watched it might see it and then be like, huh, I see what Patrick was talking about there.
Yeah.
That's basically what I've been watching, you know.
There's a lot of shipping you can do in Gundam over the series.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, you know me, I'm a filthy shipper, so I have quite a few.
That's okay. No one's blaming you.
People judge me. They just don't tell me they judge me.
That's okay.
The top comment on this video is going to be, Trey's a filthy shipper. I'm judging you.
Bring it on, commenters.
So
everyone ships.
Everybody does, you're right. I ship it. That's a good song. That's a good AMV.
You ruined the real song for me.
I just recently...
and I'm just like,
I ship it. Zeppela HQ put up a video of the... what's that song called? Payphone? I used to call you on the payphone, is that it? Or cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
She uploaded one called Link Pearl, which is FF14 themed, and now I hear it every time I hear that song. Back on topic, though. I'm caught up again to Mahoutsukai no Yome. Maho Yome, as it's being called in the fandom, and I hate when shows get abbreviated like that, but that one is pretty cute, to be fair. It's really good still. Like I talked about last week, they go into the stuff with black dogs and with will-o'-the-wisps and graveyards, and I love that they're going into lore that a lot of anime doesn't touch. Like, you get that stuff in a lot of your older novels, fantasy novels that were written back in the late 1600s, early 1500s, or late 1500s, early 1600s, delved a lot into that. But now that stuff is kind of forgotten. When you think about mythology now, you think about Thor and Zeus. You don't think about black dogs and Titania and Oberon. So, I thought that was pretty cool. And most anime, when it focuses on mythology, focuses on, like, Japanese mythology, you know? So, it was a pretty cool thing to see that they're very close to it. Also, the characters are great still. Love them. I really want to spoil this thing for you, Patrick. There is a moment where... So, Patrick, do you know what my least favorite thing in anime is?
No, I don't, but
My least favorite thing in anime is when a character cares about another character, and then that first character, the person that they care about transforms into, like, this giant monster, and then the person who cares about him is all like, get away from me, you're a monster! I hate that. Hate that so much. Because in real life, if I cared about somebody, like, for instance, if my little brother transformed into a werewolf and beat the crud out of somebody for me, I'd be like, okay, we gotta talk about this now. I'm not creeped out. This is super cool, but we gotta talk about this now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would feel the same way.
And there's a moment in this most recent episode where a character transforms, and another character, like, everybody's going, you gotta get away, it's not safe. And this character just reaches out and grabs the side of their clothes, and is like, hey man, calm down. It's okay. And I love that. I love that these characters can look past that about each other, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And then, of course, I got caught up on Net-Juu no Susume.
And how is that going?
It cliffhanged in what is probably the best, like, it's the most clever and worst cliffhanger at the exact same time.
Okay, you've got to explain that one.
Okay, so the entire episode is about the build-up of... How much do I... Okay, spoilers for Net-Juu no Susume. But the entire episode... Skip to the next timestamp if you don't want to hear them. The entire episode is about one of the characters trying to decide if he should tell one of the other main characters that he is that character online. Because at this point, they've both figured out that the other one plays the game. And one of the characters knows, if you'll remember, as I talked about last week, that the viewers didn't get to hear. One of them figured it out. And now he's trying to decide if he should tell the other one. And the episode has a bunch of moments where it looks like he's going to say it. And then the cliffhanger is him saying, "I'm Lily." And hard cuts to credits. And I was like, no!
Wow.
Of course,
man.
Of course you would cliffhang there. It's literally the best place to cliffhang if you want to make your audience go, but no! But also, it's the worst cliffhang, because why?
Next week is going to be so exciting.
I expect her reaction to be really good. And not the really bad reaction that I expect because they cliffhanged there, you know?
Yeah, I really hope so.
But,
that way they make it worth it.
Yeah. I think next week might be the last episode because if memory serves, there's only 10 episodes.
Man.
That's crazy.
Well, I'm glad you're loving that show because it seems really good. Like, I can't wait to start watching it.
Yeah, it's a really good romance. And that's why I've been so leery of spoilers with you. And I'm not using specific characters' names. I'm just like, this character wants to tell this character something. So
yeah, because like I've noticed now that I've seen it, like I've watched a rom-com, and now like I'm watching a romance.
It's a rom-com. Konohana Kitan is still a rom-com.
It pretty much is, and like I've realized that I'm starting to really like romantic comedies. Rom-coms are really fun to watch because it adds like a really good, different vibe to the show.
You gotta watch Toradora.
That's on my queue right now, and I can't wait to start watching that as well.
I love Toradora so much, Patrick.
I need to just go ahead and watch an episode every week.
Yep, you should. You're gonna love it. It's I love the two that I love the most, and they're not quality-wise. I think they're probably about as far away from each other as you can get. But it's Toradora, and it's School Rumble. Those are the two that I love the most.
Talking to me about School Rumble.
Oh, it's so good, man. School Rumble is nowhere near as cleverly written, like from the romantic side, as Toradora, which is amazingly written. But I think School Rumble delivers more on the comedy side than Toradora does. So,
gotcha. Maybe I can get my girlfriend to watch it with me and see if she gets into it.
Also, you're gonna love the OP for School Rumble.
I need to watch it. We talked about it on that car ride to the
Harima. Harima's the best.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that as well. That sounds so good.
It is. And then finally, I did watch something new. I watched Your Name.
Oh, I've been waiting to find out how you felt about this movie.
So I purchased it on Blu-ray. You can borrow it if you'd like.
Would love to.
Because you haven't seen it yet either, right?
No, I haven't. And I would even be okay with you letting me borrow the DVD version.
Okay, I am not going to go into spoilers here. Because I think the movie's better not being spoiled.
Perfect.
How many anime movies have you seen, Patrick?
Besides, like, Naruto movies?
Patrick, you can't see how fierce my looking down at my feet is right now.
Besides the Yu-Gi-Oh movie?
Oh my gosh, no.
Besides one of the Dragon Ball Z movies?
Yes. How many non-shonen anime movies have you seen?
0.
Okay. So I think this movie is really good. I think this movie is really, really solid. And if I had to rank it among anime movies, I don't know that I would say it was the best, but I would definitely say it's one of the best.
So then it definitely earned the right to be the #1 movie in Japan for that like solid 4 or 5 months it was in theaters.
Absolutely. Absolutely it did. The vistas are breathtaking. There were some shots. I watched it with Chase. And we should mention Chase couldn't be here tonight. He's not feeling good. We should have mentioned that way sooner. I'm sorry, Chase. But I watched it with Chase. And there were moments where I would just... If it was me by myself, I would have commented on the vistas. But because I was watching the movie with another person, my reaction instead was just go... Because they looked so good. The story was really solid. Go ahead.
My next question for you is, of course, you watched it subbed, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so how was the voice acting?
The sub was really good.
All of their voices sounded really well.
Yeah. It was professionally done, so I expected them to.
Well, of course, but you never know.
Yeah. I really liked the main characters. Both of their voices were really good. You know what the premise of the movie is, right?
See, I don't even know what it's about.
Then even the better. Don't look it up. Even the better. Don't look it up. Watch the movie. Be surprised.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. It was like I'd walk into this movie knowing nothing and just go on an amazing like ride.
Perfect. You need to watch the Blu-ray version though,
instead of the DVD.
It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Okay.
There is a shot, Patrick, of a mountain over a town with a lake as the sun is setting, and I was like,
Man, I can't wait to watch this movie now.
Because the way my memory works, that shot will be in my mind for probably the rest of my life. Where anytime I think of this movie, that's what I'm going to think of is that shot.
Add it to your long list of wallpapers.
Yeah, I actually, now that you mention it, I need to do that before I forget, because it'll be added to the wallpaper scroll. I thought the story was pretty good. It surprised me a few times. And any movie that can surprise me, I don't mean to sound like I'm just tooting my own horn here, but like, oh, movies can't surprise me anymore. I know all of the tricks that movies do. But, what was
nice
that voice?
Gandalf.
Well, thank you. I forgot that was the Gandalf voice.
It sounded really good, too. That's the scary part.
I always dip into it and I forget that I'm doing Gandalf. But all of the moments where it surprised me were really solid. There wasn't a single surprise moment that made me go, oh, that's stupid. Every surprise moment was, oh, of course! That's so clever! So yeah, its story was really good, the sound was really good, the voice acting was really good, the art was amazing. It's just a really good movie.
I'm so glad, man. I can't wait to watch it.
It's a thing I want to talk to you about that has to wait, of course, at the end of the movie. That might be my favorite thing that the movie does.
Okay.
Were I to compare it to other works that he has done, I would say that this one is in the top tier for me of his works. Makoto Shinkai's works, that is. Mm-hmm. And actually, if you got a second, let me pull up his discography here. And we'll just do a live Troy Ranks Makoto Shinkai movies. I don't know why we're doing it, but we're doing it, so there we go.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
I thought that, for the most part, his movies have been really good. Every once in a while, there's a couple that, I didn't watch a couple of them, but of the ones that I've seen, the big ones that people always talk about are The Garden of Words, 5 centimeters per second, and Your Name. The Place Promised in Our Early Days was pretty good too. But personally, I would probably rank it Your Name, 5 centimeters per second, Garden of Words, Place Promised in Our Early Days. If I were just to rank it with anime movies, that not counting Ghibli movies, I would say A Silent Voice, Your Name. No, let me take that back. I'm sorry. A Silent Voice, Children's Who Chased Lost Voices from Deep Below, Your Name, 5 centimeters per second, followed by a boy and his molest. I can't choose. Why am I doing this to myself? Point is, this was a really good movie. I don't think it was as good as A Silent Voice. That's the point I was trying to get around to this.
I got you.
And I still absolutely think that everybody should watch A Silent Voice. But this movie's trying to do something different than what A Silent Voice is trying to do. It's trying to tell a different story. And in that regard, I think that this movie is more effective at telling that story than A Silent Voice is. Even though I think A Silent Voice is a better movie.
Fair enough.
And then, of course, in the trifecta of my favorite anime movies now, because it's amazing to me that in the same year, 2 movies have come out that have got into my trifecta of 3 favorite anime movies. The third one is Children Who Chase Lost Voices. And Patrick, if you've never seen an anime movie, and it makes you, like, never cried from watching an anime movie, Children Who Chase Lost Voices will make you cry. The movie's real good.
Really?
Getting emotional right now just thinking about it. That movie's real good.
Relax, Jared. Just relax.
I mean, don't get me wrong, like 5 centimeters per second is really good too. And there are shots in Your Name that I recognized from 5 centimeters per second. I was like, oh! But, yeah. I've rambled for a while, but I'll say this is a really good movie. You should watch it.
Definitely excited to watch it. Most definitely.
Listeners, I won't loan it to you, but if you want to watch it, you should, because it's real good. You should also watch A Silent Voice and Children Who Chase Lost Voices from Deep Below. And while you're at it, if you just want to watch anime movies, check out 5 centimeters per second and almost every Ghibli movie ever made. Hold on, Patrick. You said you hadn't watched anything that wasn't shonen. Have you never watched the Ghibli movies?
No, I haven't watched any of them.
You've never seen Kiki's Delivery Service, Howl's Moving Castle, My Neighbor Totoro, Porco Rosso?
Nope, none of those.
Princess Mononoke?
Nope.
Okay, Patrick. New series idea. No, for real though, we gotta get you some anime movies in. Maybe we need to do some full spectrum movie nights and just watch some of those anime.
Like on stream?
Yeah, because those movies are real good.
I'm totally down.
In fact, if I was to try and name my 10 favorite anime movies right now, at least 4 of them would be Ghibli movies. And that's counting
crazy.
Gundam movies. That's counting Gundam movies. Let's not forget that.
That is crazy.
So, I think Princess Mononoke, Porco Rosso, My Neighbor Totoro, and probably... So hard to decide. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Nobody asked me to do it.
That's okay. The viewers probably love it.
Also, I realize now in hindsight that by naming off all these movies, I've just given myself more work to do in the edit. Because every time something new is named, a picture of it comes up for the duration of the time we talk about it. Yeah, it would probably be Porco Rosso, Princess Mononoke, My Neighbor Totoro, and... I'm really fond of Howl's Moving Castle, even though it's not as good as most of the other ones. I really like that movie still. I watched it dubbed and still really liked it. Listen to me sound like I hate on dubs. I don't hate on dubs. Some dubs are really good.
That's very true. Some dubs are really good.
Some dubs are really not.
Yeah, like Naruto.
I'm looking forward to the Black Clover dub, though.
I haven't seen Black Clover.
You don't know about the controversy for Black Clover, do you?
No, I don't.
People are pretty upset because Black Clover is a manga that is very popular. Even though I don't think it's as good as a lot of its competitors, it's still a solid read and a lot of fun sometimes. But the anime is marred by the fact that the main character, Asta, his voice actor, yells all the time.
Really?
Picture a lawnmower in your head. picture the sound that it makes. Hear it rattle around in your brain.
Yeah.
And realize that the main character goes,
That sounds awful.
yeah. Unfortunately, it has kind of marred the course of the journey of that anime, but we'll see how it goes. You never know. He could come around. He's a brand new voice actor. Maybe it's just the way they directed him to work for the first 12 episodes or so.
Yeah, maybe.
Hopefully that's all it is, and he can pull out of it and be great. But I guess that's all I have to say about your name. We should just call this the Tangent Roundup. Patrick, you have any final thoughts? You going to keep watching the shows you're watching?
Most definitely.
You have anything you plan on picking up for next week?
I'm probably going to start watching the show that you recommended for me, that rom-com.
Toradora?
Toradora, yeah. So bad.
Yeah. I'm going to try and watch Twilight Axis. That's a Gundam series that's 4 minutes long per episode.
Wow.
And I'm really concerned, because I've heard some bad things. But I said all through Seed Destiny, and I said all through Age. So I can do it. I think.
I think you can do it.
At some point, I really want us to watch Handshakers on stream and force ourselves to watch that show. Just so we can say that we've watched Handshakers. But we'll be back next week with another episode of the Anime Roundup. I've been Trey.
I've been Patrick.
And this has been The Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum that anime has to offer.